Hello, guys. Welcome to the career panel with technical recruiters. Can you hear me, Julius?
Yes, sure, I can hear you, Marjan.
Yeah, it's a beautiful evening in Kenya right now. And do we have the panelists here?
Yep, I think they are coming. Yep,
Oh,
there they
yeah.
are.
Welcome, Taiwo and Esther. So, if you're
I
probably thinking, oh, sorry, if you're probably thinking about who technical recruiters are, these are professionals who specialize in sourcing and hiring candidates for technical positions within an organization. And these two are responsible for identifying and attracting top talents to fill roles such as software engineers, data analysts, system administrators, and network engineers. So, our two panelists, I have something to say to you. So, I encourage you to share bold and provocative ideas that challenge conventional thinking, all right? And for the audience members, just feel free to submit questions or comments throughout the discussions to make this panel interactive. Okay, and let's explore the controversial sides of this topic and encourage healthy debate among our panelists. And we are excited to hear from our panelists and their unique insights and experiences on this topic. So this topic is extremely relevant to our audience, especially me, and we encourage a discussion on current trends and challenges. And finally, we have assembled a device panel of experts to share their perspectives and experiences on this topic, right? So let's get started. Welcome, Esther.
Hi Marjan, thank you very much for having me. Hi Julius, thank you very much for having me. Hi Titi, thank you for also being part of this session.
Hey, Esther. Thank you for the introduction. Could you give us a little bit more introduction about yourself so that you know? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
sir. Okay,
yeah,
hi everyone. Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
All right. Hi everyone. My name is Esther Debayo. I'm currently a technical recruiter and people ops specialist. I transitioned fully into tech as a technical recruiter in 2021. I've been working to ensure that organizations get the best of the technical talents that they can get, especially in Africa. I'm really passionate about the African tech space, and I really look forward to seeing more young people like myself get into the African tech space and do amazing things, basically.
Hi, Marjan. I think we are not getting you.
Who me? I'm sorry. Sorry. What you saying?
Yes, Marjan, go ahead. I think you're having some issues, but you can go ahead now.
Okay, so Esther, we have a bunch of questions lined up for you and Taiwo. I think she has like network issues. So the first question is, what do you consider to be the most important technical skills for candidates in the industry?
Hi everyone. Okay, I believe you can hear me now. Okay, so I would say that the technical skills depends on the roles, right? So there are things you look out for when you're trying to hire maybe a data analyst. There are things you look out for when you're trying to hire maybe a full stack engineer. Like there are things you look out for when you're looking to hire a UI UX designer. So I would say that the technical skills depends on the role that you're looking to hire. For example, I would expect that someone who wants to get a role probably wants like a UI UX design role will know how to make use of basic tools like Figma, I would expect that there are design principles that you already know. Those are core. Those are technical things that you have to have an understanding. Sorry, that you have to have an understanding of. So, like I said, it depends on the role. So you have to like have an understanding of, let's say, like what you're trying to do. So I want to become a data analyst. What are the core skills that are needed? What are the core technical skills that are needed? And how can I just ensure that I go like I have an understanding of it and I'm able to like they can't nobody should be able to ask me any questions relating to those skills and I won't be able to answer. So those are the things so that's what I would say. So like I said in summary, basically have an understand like it just depends on the skills for different roles. So I won't say, for example, I'm looking for a software engineer that knows that's very good with sorry, let's say Java. The skills I would be looking for, they are very, very different, right? They'll be different from someone that is just basically and so someone like I said, like probably a product designer. Do you understand? So yeah, like the technical skills differ per role. Have an understanding of what you're trying to do and have an understanding of the technical skills needed for the role that you're applying for.
Great. Thank you so much, Esther. And the next question is just a kind of follow up. Actually, in this whole issue of computer science, we most students get into it because of the attraction of the salary. So I think most of us now we somehow want to know like how do you evaluate your candidates after you is a follow up of the previous question. How do we evaluate a candidate technical skill during the recruiting process? How do you evaluate their technical skills?
Okay, I'm trying to understand what you just asked, like a follow up. Like you said, a lot of people just want to do this or just want to get into tech or just want to start coding because of the money. I mean, getting the money is great, but you have to know what is required of you, right? So aside just the technical skills, I would pick someone that is very, let's say for example, over five. I have two candidates that I'm just trying to make this very relatable. So I have two candidates, and both of them are like, let's say the first person that has like five over five when it comes to technical skills, and the other person has maybe 4/5 when it comes to technical skills. Now you have to understand that when it comes to working in tech, it doesn't just have to do with your skills, with what the things you can do, your technical skills, right? It has to do with how like your soft skills. So I would pick someone who is 4/5, has amazing soft skills based on the behavioral tests that we might have done. When I see that when it comes to their behavioral skills, their soft skills, when I see that, oh, this other person is actually great, I'll pick the person over somebody that just has knowledge of coding, doesn't know how to communicate, is not good with team management, doesn't know how to lead a team or even manage a project. Because at the end of the day, it would affect the whole team. Like, if you're not very good when it comes to like soft skills, the basic things to look out for, communication, project management, things that will help your team thrive. If you're not very good, at the end of the day, you mess up the whole product or whatever we're trying to build. Do you understand? So yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you. It was just clear. So the next question is, can you walk us through a technical assessment that you use during the recruiting process?
Okay, so for technical assessments, I would say that they differ for companies, they differ for roles. So in order to make things easier, just like we are currently making use of tech, like we're currently the world is growing and every other thing is we're trying to make things easier for people. So I would say that one of the ways I would just give an example. I would just give real life scenarios. So I would say a lot of companies, like I said, use different things. So you can use qualified, you can use test gorilla to test like just to give different tests. You can use dev skiller just to give like people tests so that it doesn't just end up being manual. I think that a lot of companies are running away from things being just manual. So they would rather make use of these platforms that have already created a test for you to take, I think that there are limitations with the test because it might not necessarily show how bright the candidates are, but it's a very competitive world, and so you have to know what you're doing. You have to get on your A game. So you have to try as much as possible to get familiar with the test, with these test platforms, and the kind of assessments, the kind of questions that they come up with, so you can have like. So it just gives you an advantage over every other candidate that is applying for the particular role that you're applying for.
Great, great, great. So, for computer science, when you just get into it, they always tell us it's problem solving, and the real truth is it's all about problem solving. So that means for recruiters like you, if you're recruiting, you kind of look for this particular skill for problem solving. So, you want to tell us what approach you use to test the candidate's ability to solve problem?
One approach I would say would be give me. I would like to use a real life example. Like I said, I don't know why I like to say that, but it's just something that I think would be really helpful. I mean, you want to like get somebody that will just come correct with you, right? So I would say that so, for example, I want to test your knowledge on problem solving. I will tell you to give me an example of a time your team got stuck um, when you were probably working on a project, or when you, yeah, I'll say, give me an example of a time your team got stuck when you were working on a project, and how what you did to ensure that you were able to unblock everyone on the team. I mean, you might not necessarily be able to unblock everyone on the team, but considering that there's always a timeline for every project, tell me what you did to ensure that you were able to unblock and get your team running back. So hearing the candidates like tell me about, for example, tell me, oh, this was what I did. Did you reach out to somebody? Did you go the extra mile to research to see if there was a particular issue with what you were trying to do? I just want to, you might not necessarily even solve the overall problem. I just want to have an understanding of who you are as a person. Let me see if if somewhere in there you're actually a problem solver. Your answer would definitely tell me that, oh, this person is a problem solver, just by hearing the things that you have to say, basically.
Great, great, great. So there is also a kind of hot kick right now. Everybody is really, really concerned about AI. Oh, okay. We have Tayo is back.
I'm
Welcome.
glad.
Yeah, we are
Thank
glad to
you.
have you back.
Thank you.
Great,
Apologies,
great.
my network was creepy.
So sorry.
It's very okay. So this question is going directly to you now. All right. So
Wait,
currently we
wait,
have
Julius.
yes.
Uh, Taiwo hasn't introduced herself yet.
All right.
Yeah, so let us give her the
So
chance.
Okay,
sure.
thank you.
So
Thank
over
you,
to you,
everyone.
man.
Good day, everyone. My name is Isilayo Taiwo. I'm a co-founder and COO at TerraWalk. TerraWalk is a freelance talent marketplace that is plugging African talent into the global workforce. We are building something similar to Fiverr or Upwork to give access to young people to have global opportunity to work with anybody anywhere as long as they have the right skills and attitude to work. I have over 10 years experience in operation, working with a very novel HR company, software company here in Nigeria before I pivoted into building a platform that connects young people to work. Thank you.
All right. So let's get to it. We have a lot of questions coming in from the audience. So we hope we can navigate through them. So let's have another one. Like I was saying, that with the rise of AI now and the way the trend that technology is taking, we are somehow most students are kind of concerned about the technical demands of recruiters. So you want to tell us about what are some of the technical demands that you consider when you are recruiting in this age of technology now?
Yes, I think what is most important is everyone not to be static. We need to keep upskilling and looking for the most relevant skills. We know some skills are very hot cake, while some, as we grow, in the technology over time it becomes not as relevant as it is. So presently in the AI age, it is important if you are venturing into technology space to look at what is the trend, what is the future, what are the skills that companies, organizations want to leverage to build solutions that will solve what life problem and then plug into it. But one thing I notice as well is when it becomes so popular, there's tendency that you're actually entering too late. So, as a continent, my major concern is we should be able to even predict the future, not when we have it, everybody is running. Oh, I need to learn Java, I need to learn C sharp, I need to learn JavaScript. So, as a continent, what I think we need to focus more on is how we can enable the youth by building infrastructure that can predict what the need will be in the future so that they position themselves, not that they are right there in the future, they're already lost and they are just looking, what should I learn next? So, talking about AI is not new for a lot of um, organization. That is the future. We are leveraging data to do a lot of things. It's much more easier, and it is important that we position ourselves and then look for ways to even predict what is not common now is going to be very, very common in the next 5 years. How do we do the forecast and make sure that people are getting ready for the relevant for the people are getting ready, people are having the relevant skills so that they can the opportunity. So that would be my advice, that as an institution we need to start looking at how to really make sure that we are not just providing solution because it is now very popular, and then that's when we are saying, okay, let's everybody go and learn this. But what can we do to help you young people in this continent to make sure that even the skills that are not yet in demand, that will be in the demand in the next year, they are getting ready to position themselves to leverage it. So, as a young person that is looking at the technology space in the space of AI, it is important to look at solution that is being built presently. What are the languages or programming languages, the technicalities that people are leveraging on, and then taking advantage of it and positioning yourself by learning these languages and then getting prepared to get opportunity to work and then develop the skill along the way. Because one of the things I notice running a platform is that for a lot of opportunities is not for people that are just out of school. A lot of opportunities not for somebody that is just starting. They'll be asking for 5 years experience in this, 3 years experience in this, 6 years experience in this. And these are things that, in as much as we learn, we need to start where we are and then develop the skills so that we can perfect over time. Yeah. Julius, you are muted. I think you're mute. Yeah.
Yep. Are you getting me now? I'm sure.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Great. So we've talked about technical skills, we've talked about soft skill, and even soft skill came up in the keynote speech again. And for technocrats, sometimes you just want to get your code working, and we have seen this a lot, where we have someone who is very brilliant and smart. He's just working, but the soft skill is not there. So, how do we balance our technical skills and how on and also how do we balance our soft skills when if as a engineer or as a developer on our side, and also from your side, how do you evaluate those two skills? All right, let me just kind of paraphrase that again. How do you balance technical skills, and how do you balance technical skills and soft skills on your side as a recruiter, and how we as developers can balance our technical skills and our non-technical skills to meet your demand? Because after all, we need a job.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah,
I think I
anybody
like
can
that.
go first, and I would really appreciate if both of you can answer that question.
Fantastic. Let me go first. I think I like that question because over time, my first I will even prioritize soft skills over technical skills because in a lot of ways in the journey of maybe an entrepreneur or a startup, there will be a lot of iteration, and if you are not patient as a developer, you might not be able to pull through. So what will I say? You need to invest in yourself, you need to be intentional about it. And let me give you a story of majorly one of the things I do ask one of my developers. For a lot of us, we get tired easily when we are working on a project. We really want to move to the next thing when we are tired and we really want to move on. And to a business owner, that is it's not palatable. And we see us working on several projects without conclusion. How many African software developer has built a product that we are all proud of? So I have this young developer that joined my team, very, very vibrant and then very hardworking. And we had a discussion over time. I sense he's getting tired when the project is actually getting too long and it's as if let me just move on. And I said, see, there's tendency for us to feel this way, but it's important to be patient as well. And I asked the question, how many people do you know have worked on a project that they are proud of? Big project like Facebook, big project like Instagram. Not because you don't have the capacity to build products that can scale to that level, but a lot of us are not patient enough. So when we are working on a project, let's be a bit let's be intentional that I want to build something that I can be proud of. That when people are saying we are solving real life problems, I'm part of the team that built it. And it takes a lot of intentionality, it takes a lot of emotional intelligence. And since that day, I saw him, he has a different approach to life. Because now it's not about maybe the next paycheck, it's about somebody that is thinking, instead of me jumping around, I start with this company, 2 months, I'm tired, somebody else is calling me, I move. And I've spent 10 years developing products and none is out there in the market that people are using and it's solving life problems. Let me be, I can take 3 or 4 jobs, but I look at the impacts, I look at a long term goal. And if we have this in our subconscious, it helps us to be a little bit patient, it helps us to develop our soft skills, it helps us to. So, in our organization, we've been able to manage we've been able to manage developers better by letting them know that, see, you have this ability, you can be part of something big. You just need to be patient. That's number one. You need to know that you will get tired, you get burnout. You can take a break, but don't give up on something that you believe in so much, because 10 years, 20 years down the line, you will take stock of your life and it will be just, you are just there. We have a part of you everywhere, not really consolidating. So you need to look at the end goal. You need to know that time is of essence, time is going. Anything that you've committed to be part of, see to it that you try your best to to push it to a level that even you can be proud of. And when you are talking, you can comfortably you can say, I'm part of the people that build that, I'm part of the people that build, and it brings credibility to us. So we need to be intentional about it. We need to invest in our emotional health as developers. We need to invest in it. We need to look for books, we need to look for mentors, we need to um, be patient with ourselves. We need to be patient with the organization we are working with, so that at the end of the day, we we are part of something that we are proud of. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, isn't that insightful? Thank you so much, Taiwo. That has touched me actually. Next question goes to Esther. So, in there are situations where the candidate lacks a specific technical skills that is required for the role. So how do you handle such situations?
Okay, thank you for that question. Okay, so for example, I would say that I would say don't be quick to dismiss such a candidate. There are things that okay. So for example, we have nice to haves, we have must haves. So these are like there are some things that okay, I want to get this role, I must have these skills. There are also some skills that, oh, I don't necessarily have the skills. I just have probably, I just know a little about it, and I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to expand my knowledge. If that is the case in this particular, for this particular question that you asked, I would say don't be, I won't be very quick to dismiss such a candidate. So what's like the how can I look at the person in such a way that, or have a conversation with the person, or interview, like during interview, how can I deduct from the conversation that, oh, this person has this particular skill that we need for this role. If with time we need this particular one that we are asking of, and they don't have it yet, can we be patient? Can we give them time to ensure that, oh, to see if with time they can actually have an understanding of that particular skill. So I won't be quick to dismiss such a candidate. Um, in a case where the project is very, very important and we do not have any time, we must get what we want. That's when I would say, oh, we can't do this, we can't bring you on board. And in a case where I mean, the talents are becoming the talent pool is becoming limited daily. Not You won't find a lot of people out there. So can we make do with what we have? Will what we have provide the kind of excellence that we want to achieve? If yes, then fine. I won't be quick to dismiss people just like that.
Wow. Wow. You've had it, right? Now I want to be recruited by Esther. Esther, could you kindly recruit me? That is so nice of you. That is so nice of you. Anyway, Taiwo, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Is that right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, thank you. So, how do you evaluate a candidate's potential for growth and learning?
Okay, so I think there's a lot of standard when you are trying to bring people on board. And my advice to anybody that is listening, especially people that want to enter the tech space, we have a lot of solution out there that you can expose yourself with, that recruiter use even to get hands-on questions. We have a lot. When you google some recruiter software or application, you will see. So for me, it's about your technical skills, it's about your soft skills. We have stages of interview, and like I said earlier, I prioritize even your soft skills above your technical skills. And my reason being that skill can actually be learned. Give it some time if you have the right attitude. But there's some basic things I watch out for. If, for example, I need someone to work on a project, existing project, and I'm looking for a specific skill set. So, number one, you need to be out there, right? You need to build a resume that if my ATS is scanning you, those keywords can be picked so that you have opportunity to go to the next stage, which is the interview. So it is important. A lot of software people, you don't even know how to write a good resume. You have the right skill, you work on the right project, but you don't even know how to put those things together. They are just all over the places. And for a lot of people, you are at a disadvantage because that is your first encounter with a recruiter. And if I can't look through your resume and see what I'm looking for, automatically you're already disqualified. So it is important you upgrade your CV to be a good um, re- um, to represent you well. And when you have a good CV, and luckily these days you can get people to do that for you. You can get people to do that for you, and you after you pass that stage, there's some things that need to be your GitHub account need to be on your resume so that people can know what you are working on and stuff like that. Then they're going to be the interview stage. So for me, it's about you representing yourself well. Mine is that I'm a bit harsh. It's as simple as the format you are presenting your CV. Sometimes when I see CV in Word document, I don't bother to open it because you don't know. You don't know. But I might be on the way or on the road on the go. I might be using my phone and everything is scattered. So if you are preparing your resume, as simple as making sure you are sending it out in PDF speaks volume about you. If it is in PDF, it's intact. I can see the layout and I can say that okay, this person is organized. But when you send your resume in Word document, I'm like, if I open it and everything is scattered, my brain is already thrown off balance. And I need to really, little things disturb somebody like me. Esther might be a very nice person that is ready to to give. When I see your resume in Word, it's a turn off for me. Unless at the end of the day I'm unable to find what I'm looking for. So let me just give this person a chance. As simple as the format that you are presenting yourself to someone like me, it's important. Then again, like I said, you need to be out there. You need to reach out to recruiter, be very, very blunt. This is my skill, this is what I can do. If you're actively looking for job, tech skills is in high demand. People need, and you are lost in the crowd. I might not know you, and I might need you. So reaching out to recruiter if you have the time is fine. Being on how will I put it, on several platforms, showcasing yourself, telling the world about what you do is important. To joining relevant bodies like this Google. There's sometimes you are looking for people to work on a project because we are funded by Google anyway. Our first point of call is who can I call in Google? How can I have access to their network of developers? Can I get people to work on this project? So it's important as a young person, be out there, put yourself out there, join relevant organizations going towards the same direction because you won't know when this opportunity will come. And then if you are not positioning yourself, you might not be in the radar of who you really need to meet. Right. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tayo. I'm also touched by that. Put yourself out there, she said. Put yourself out there. And in whatever you do, make sure you're aggressive. Okay? So we have one last question from the panel, and from there we have questions, a lot of questions lined up for you from the audience. So one last question to you, Esther. It's how do you collaborate with hiring managers to ensure that you are providing the necessary input to assess a candidate's technical skills?
Okay, I was going to add that, like I think your second question, I was going to add that we work a lot with hiring managers. One very important thing is to have a very good relationship with the hiring manager. Having a very good relationship with your hiring manager makes the recruitment process really fast and seamless. Because you don't want to spend like stay so long on a particular role, and because hiring managers are also very busy, you have to know how to get their attention. You have to know how to get their time. So you just like a candidate would reach out to, would always be on a recruiter. That's how a recruiter would always work with an hiring manager, because you want to ensure that not only are you working together, but they're also giving their best to be able to find the right talent. I mean, if you have a good relationship with hiring manager, you're very certain that you're going to get a very good talent. So collaborating with hiring managers, like I said, you have to be very good with communication. You have to be able to set your expectations rightly, like communicate from the get go. What are we trying to achieve? How can I make this very easy for you? How can we work together to ensure that at the end of the day we get the best of the best that is out there, basically.
Okay, thank you so much, Esther. So I'll just direct the next question from the audience to Taiwo. So someone is asking which is more important, certifications or experience?
Hmm. It's very tricky questions. I would say both, and because one will give you a a foot in the door, right? If you have, if you are able to go through some certification, you can have the opportunity to be employed and get experience. But however, I remember my former boss, he said on its own, learn coding. And from Nigeria, he was recruited to work with Microsoft and he rose to the position of vice president. So when you talk about certification, it's important because for a lot of organization, that's what will give you opportunity to even be to be called, right? But at the same time, you can learn some of these things on your own, and then when you display competency, people will, how will I put it? People will give you experience. I would have preferred the question to be, I've seen a lot of people that they don't have background in computer science and they are doing well coding, not certification now. They learn on their own, they had the experience to work and they got better at it. One of the best developer that I have around me studied science lab tech, the other one mechanical engineering. And what they've done over the years is to bury themselves in learning these skills, not necessarily acquiring certification. They learn, they learn on the job, and again they get better at it. So I'm not sure what this person is trying to ask, whether it's saying that certification in terms of going through school, reading computer science or computer engineering, or somebody that does not have that kind of background, but still you are interested in coding, you are interested in technology, you can learn the skill. Google today is not going to look whether you have BSc. According to them, they are ready to employ anybody as long as you have the right skill. So it's beyond certification. It's learning the skill, knowing the skill, and being able to demonstrate that I can do it. Somebody that read SLT, Science Lab Technology, and for the past how many years he has been working with me? 4 years. Over the years, I've seen him grow to like, as in getting jobs around the world, beyond the world, because somebody gave him a platform to start front end job locally here in Nigeria. And because he happened to be a very detailed person, he put himself into it and he learned with the experience. Now, this guy, at- as of today, he has more than 2 or 3 jobs offshore that he's doing in addition to mine. But I will say with all my shoulder that he started with me and then he learned, and over the time he was able to learn more, develop his skills, and then attract that kind of global opportunity. So certification is a bit, um, I'm not too sure what you mean by certification, but the truth is experience is important. If you learn this, you can learn, most of these things can be learned by yourself, by yourself, on your own, at your own pace. Google has a lot of resources that you can have access to learn some of these things. Just be at it, be diligent, learn it. Then being able to show to somebody, starting small. Oh, I can do this. I remember when he came, I was like, SLT. Okay, let's see. I was not looking at, oh, you read SLT, you can't do the job. Oh, he showed me some design and I said, okay, come on board. And 3, 4 years down the line, he's earning more than what I'm giving him. He's just staying with me because I'm sure he's thinking this lady gave me an opportunity when I started. He can as well say, I'm not doing again. I have this. Do you understand? But let me still stay and continue. So learn the skill, get certification, but what is most important is ability to be able to produce results. Display that competencies by your output, and then you have the opportunity to be given experience and you learn on the job, get better at it.
All right. Thank you so much. So there is one question that just interests me. I saw it and then I started to laugh. So let me just go out of it quickly. So why do you all ask for experience in interviews? I mean, we are applying to earn experience, so please hire us. I'm trying to read it exactly as it came. That's why someone is concerned. I really we need to hear about this one. Why do you all ask for experience in interviews? I mean, we are applying to an experience, so please hire us. Any of you can go. Any of you, if possible, both of you. You both are recruiters.
I saw the question and I just started laughing. I mean, what do we ask for? Like, okay, so I'm trying to look for like an example to give, but then none is coming right now. But then I would say that if you're just starting out, that's why there are internships. That's why there are graduate training programs. If you're just
Yeah.
starting out, if you're just looking to build yourself, build your resume, get experience, right? You cannot say you don't have experience and you're probably looking for, let's say, an associate, mid-level, senior level role. Nobody's going to take you seriously. So if you're just starting out, you want to ensure that you just try as much as possible to apply for internships, graduate training programs, programs that can just, you can even volunteer. I mean, things that can just give you the experience. Now, when it comes to all of these things that I just stated, you want to ensure that you're very intentional, right? You don't just want to go for that internship because it's popular. You want to go because you want to build your resume. You want to show that, oh, at the end of 3 months, you can say that, oh, I've worked on this product. I partnered with the RM, with my team lead to work on this product. So it is not just for the going sake. It is not just for the applying sake. It is for so that you can, let's say at the end of 6 months, do like an analysis, like you can analyze the things that you've learned in, let's say, 3 to 6 months, and those things can even give you an edge when you're applying for like, let's say, other roles basically. So don't just take internships as things where you just apply and just go walk into the office and drink coffee. Try as much as possible to actually gather experience basically.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just add to that. And recently, I think I would say my nephew-in-law studied, I think, aeronautical engineering in the UK, and then after graduation, he felt, I want to dive into this coding, and he said, what can I do? He actually wanted to intern with us, and the kind of programming language he wanted to learn, that's not what we are using to build our product. So I felt, what do you want to do? And I remember we advised, oh, check plural sites, then take some courses. And then we forgot about, I was not even sure whether he took to the advice. And recently he just called and he was excited. What happened? He said, I just got a job in Brisbane. I saw this job. Sometimes don't I saw this opportunity, I applied, and because of how far I've gone with this, my self-paced learning on plural side, they gave me this job. And he was excited. I was like, wow, just like that. So interesting things about technology is that even when you are learning on your own, you have opportunity to practice some of these things, and those are your portfolio. So don't think you don't have experience. It's like you limiting yourself. You have the experience by little activity or tasks that you're already doing. So when you go for interview, be proud to showcase them. They are little, but they are fine. Don't think, oh, I can't apply for this job because they're saying experienced people 2 years, 3 years. Apply. Show them the baby steps you've taken, and somebody will be ready to take a gap. And like Esther said, volunteer to learn in a proper environment, intern for free, and let the goal be, I want to learn, not I'm an intern, I'm not ready to do anything more. Have that mindset that you really want to do this and you want to stand out. And this young guy, I was like, is it that easy? He placed the call maybe around October last year. We are in March. I remember he called back maybe 2 weeks ago to say that I just got a job in Brisbane, and then they've paid for my flights. I'm moving on. I'm going to take up this job. I was like, really? You might say, oh, in our environment, maybe it doesn't happen like that. It's because it is Australia, maybe there. But likewise, that I'm sure he has something to show for all those days he was learning using Pluralsight. So be proud of those little steps and be ready to showcase them. That would be my addition. to Esther's contribution.
Okay, thank you so much, Esther and Tayo. Yeah, we have an interesting question here from Ashaba Jasper. So, Ashaba Jasper is like, hey there, our interviewers always need too much from us in an interview. Is this to threaten us, or we just don't know a lot yet? You guys are threatening Ashaba. Why are you guys threatening Ashaba? Can you tell us why you guys are threatening so much?
Okay, quick one. I do not think threatening is the word because threatening sounds really harsh. But then I would
Yeah.
say if you actually feel threatened, it means that there's a lot of learning for you to do. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
of things that you probably still need to learn, right? So if you feel threatened, I mean, recruiters just like you want to join a company where you feel safe, where you feel like you're doing good job. Recruiters also want to get the best people that wouldn't stress them and will be of great value to the company. So it's like you're looking, like there's a pool of companies to apply for, and recruiters also have a pool of candidates. And we are like, I want to pick the best one. And you, as a candidate, you're like, I also want to pick the best company. So if you probably always feel like, oh, we are trying to get too much, or it's a lot, or sometimes I know that it can be a lot, but just probably do like an internal search to able to be to like ask yourself like, oh, are there things that I should know that I probably do not know? Have I been part of about 2 to 3 interviews? They ask me the same question and I don't have the answer to it. Can I research and see and just learn so that when next somebody comes to ask me that same question, I'll give them the perfect answer. So yeah, maybe there's something that there's a knowledge gap that you have to fill. Yeah.
All right. All right, all right. Thank you so much. So I just saw something interesting. I'm going to ask the last question. We are already out of time, but I just saw something cool. You people are full of wisdom, and that's from Edward. You people are full of wisdom. I'm really learning a lot. So it's a kind of compliment, and thank you guys so much. I think our audience are learning a lot, and we have so many comments here appreciating you. Thank you, Esther. Yes, yes. Kind of affirmation as you say something. You're like, yes, yes. So it's really it's really educative, and we really appreciate. I just asked the last question that I think we have a lot of questions, by the way, but I think it can summarize some of the questions that are here. And that is from Mariam Hamzat. What do recruiters look for in a resume and CV? What do recruiters look for in a resume or CV? So that'll be our last question because we don't have time now. Yeah. So you both can respond to it or just one, whoever it suits best.
I think for every application, I would advise tailor your resume to the job requirements. Don't be in a hurry. Don't just have one size fits all. I'm applying for this. I send it. I mean, take your time to go through the job description and the expectation there. And then it might sound tedious, but tailoring your resume for each job you apply maximize your chances of being called for an interview. So it is important you look through what the application you're about to make, and then make sure, because that will be the first thing that a recruiter look for. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I need somebody that is into React. I need somebody that has 3 years experience. Don't just mention I'm a front end developer. Mention that skill. Be very, very specific based on the job description. So asking what recruiter look for in CV, keywords like search engines like SEO in Google, keywords that I have on my job description is what I'm looking for in your CV. Because for some of recruiters, life is a bit easier because you are actually you looking using software to even filter those CV before it will even come to the recruiter. Software is looking apple to apple, what are the criteria, and automatically you are screened out because they are not seeing those things. So to stand a better chance for every application, tailor your resume or your CV to the request of the request. I'm not saying you should overhype yourself or pad it. If you are not qualified, you know. If you are qualified, be specific when it comes to the skill sets they're asking for. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wish I could say thank you more than the participants, but they are thank you so much. so, Mariam just confirmed. She was like, cool. And Vipulski, that name is so hard. But he's like, this was very interesting and thank you all so much. And someone is like affirming, yes, so, and another person is like, this is so interesting. So we can't read all of the comments, guys. We really do appreciate your time and thank you so much. And to our to our panelists, we want to say thank you and thank you for taking up the time to give us this education. At least we prepare ourselves. We will not just code. We'll learn how to speak. Also, we also learn how to prepare ourselves for the job market. So for the participants, you can move to the next session where you're going to learn about how to become a GDSC lead if you like to be one. So we call it a day. Thank you so much to Esther. Thank
Thank
you
you guys.
to Tawo. And it was really, really great. Even for we, the host, it was very educative. And thank you, Marjan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. See you on the other side.
Bye.
Yes.